Hi there, welcome along. It's the Sweet Spot. Bruce Millington and Steve Palmer with the Racing Post's weekly golf show. And what a week we've got for you. Yes, it's the big one. The Open at St Andrews starts on Thursday. Steve will be naming his picks very shortly. They've also put another tournament on. It's the Barracuda. It's the Barracuda Championship, isn't it? But not very interesting. We'll whiz through who Steve fancies there. Before we get going, though, quick look back on last week. And Xander Schauffele comes into the Open in what can only be described as ridiculous forms. 3 wins on the trot, spanking absolutely superb fields every single time. He was around about 16, 20 to 1 to win the Scottish Open, and he did so not without drama, Steve, but got it done in the end. I mean, he what's happened? Because he was winnerless for so long, and now he can do no wrong.
Yeah. I mean, he's been. We tipped him for the US Open. He was a shot shy of the places in the US Open. He's won his subsequent 3 tournaments. The Travelers Championship, he needed a bit of help from Sahith Theegala on the final hole there. He's won the JP McManus Pro-Am and now the Scottish Open, and he's become second favourite for the Open Championship as a result. I'm not sure he should be there. I'm not impressed with those odds now. Yeah, that Scottish Open win was hard work in the end. Late tee time, lost the lead, had to battle back. He's played a lot of golf lately, and he needed to practice at St Andrews. He's never seen St Andrews prior to this week. How much appetite did he have for practice on Monday? I don't know. I think he's got a lot to learn in 3 days.
Okay, fair enough. And over in America, it was the Barbasol. It was more like the Barbasol for you, wasn't it? With Matty Schmid. I mean, we thought he had it in the bag. 2-shot lead going to the final round. Absolutely fell apart late on an 80 to 1 winner. Evaporated, and he barely placed in the end. I mean, you'd need all the extra places going to have got anything back. So bad luck there, and well done if you back Trey Mullinax. I think it was about 150, 175 to 1. I'm not sure he would have been on too many people's radars. I mean, it was a funny old tournament, Steve, wasn't it? Weather delayed all the way through. They had to play the thick end of 2 rounds on the final day. Anything to learn apart from the fact that golf is a cruel game if you're a punter?
Well, when you get 100 to 1 shot trading at odds on before the final round, you're on good terms with yourself. And then when he becomes the only player, he's kind of the worst scorer in the entire field on Sunday in the final round, then you're not on such good terms with yourself. So, 5 bogeys, 2 double bogeys, 77. And ended up tied for 8th place. Yes, it was a big moment for him, front running for a PGA Tour maiden victory, and he wasn't up to it. It's pretty similar to the Patrick Cantlay Travelers Championship debacle. So Lady Luck is not on our side at the moment, but maybe she's saving it for the Open.
Is there anything to say about Trey Mullinax?
Well, he's earned an Open debut, maiden PGA Tour title at the age of 30. He's not a bad player. 2-time Corn Ferry Tour champion. There's not a lot to say about Trey Mullinax. No.
Let's have a lot to say about the Open, shall we?
Yeah, we have got a lot to say about that.
What a week. And to set the scene, we'll get Boyle Sports prices. They are offering a variety of place terms from 6 to 12, but I'll read out the 11 place main outright market for you. And they're 8 to 1 favourite Rory McIlroy, 12 to 1 Xander Schauffele and Jordan Spieth, 14 Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm, 16 Matt Fitzpatrick, 18 Justin Thomas, Shane Lowry, 22 Patrick Cantlay, 22 Cam Smith, 25 Tommy Fleetwood and Colin Morikawa and Will Zalatoris and Dustin Johnson, 33 to 1 bar. Obviously, as always, a very, very classy field. Convening at St Andrews, the home of golf. Tell us all about St Andrews, Steve. What are they going to do to stop people tearing it to bits?
Well, I like to call it the Old Lady, actually. Some people call it the home of golf. I prefer to call it the Old Lady. Yeah, the old course at St Andrews on the east coast of Fife, 7,313 yards now. Par 72, only 2 par 5s, 14 par 4s. Hosted the Open 29 times. Most recently, 1990, 1995, 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015. So we've had to wait a long time for another St Andrews Open, and we're all gagging for it, aren't we?
What's the weather going to be like?
We got some fresh breezes on Thursday and Friday, and some lesser breezes over the weekend. Wide fairways, enormous greens, but it's playing really firm and fast. It's browning over already, apparently. You got pot bunkers lurking everywhere. I don't think the Old Lady will be embarrassed. There's been a lot of talk about that. I think you're probably going to need to get to at least 16 under par to have a chance of winning. But who cares? It's going to be going to be a bit of fun.
I was going to make that point, Steve, because there's loads of people going, oh, are they going to overpower? And lots of the players were asking in the press conference that question. But it's a 72-hole golf tournament, and the one who shoots the lowest score wins. Who gives a toss whether it's the winning score is 255 or 285? It doesn't matter, does it?
No, it really doesn't. I don't think the players care either. I mean, Shane Lowry was talking about it. They're talking about taking, the media men are talking about taking St Andrews off the rota because it's going to be too easy. But no, I think there's a place for it to stay on the roster forevermore. We don't want to lose St Andrews.
No, it doesn't matter. One thing I did read today that was very interesting, Steve, is that they're going to use dastardly pin positions to try and defend the course. Stuff they've never dared do before, basically putting it on slopes. So everyone's been saying, well, this is going to be a wedge competition, but it actually could turn into a bit of a putting competition. Or do you think it'll just be an all-round golf competition?
I think it might be an all-round golf competition, but yeah. I mean, it's going to be firm and fast.
What's the emphasis on?
The emphasis on lag putting, I think. I think you're going to have to be a fantastic lag putter. You've got these enormous greens, 7 shared greens. You're going to have lots of 100-foot putts. And I think having plenty of power in your locker is more than useful because a lot of these par 4s are in range now, aren't they? You're going to have a lot of 2-putt birdies on par 4s. So, I think you want some power in your locker. I think you want controlled aggression. You've got to stay out of those pot bunkers. It's no doddle. You're gonna have to play sensible golf at times. And I think you're gonna have to be a major champion. This is the theme that I think this is a massive occasion. The atmosphere up there apparently is already incredible. That 7-year wait for the one that's everyone's favourite. The town is packed. I think it's.
How many times have you been, Steve?
I've been twice. I've been twice to a St Andrews.
Did you love
Open.
it?
Yeah. They're my 2 favourite opens. And I think there's going to be an enormous amount of pressure, and historically, the cream rises to the top here. There's been only one non-major champion who's won at St Andrews since 1964 in the Open. So that was Louis Oosthuizen, who's obviously no mug. So I think you need to be a top-class player to win here, particularly within the atmosphere that we're facing this week.
Okay, Steve, the all-important question: how many selections?
Oh!
Brilliant. Wow. That was a lusty old 4. Good man. Who's number 1?
Number 1 selection is Rory McIlroy. 8-1 with Boyle Sports, getting 11 each way places. 10-1 available elsewhere, getting fewer places. I think it's time for McIlroy and for me to gain our revenge on the St Andrews weather gods. Way back in 2010, you may remember, I had the biggest bet of my life at that point on McIlroy winning the Open at St Andrews. All started so well. Open with a 63, became 3-1 favourite, and then Friday was an absolute gut buster. I had all day to think about laying off. McIlroy's second round tee time was late, and the roof was sort of coming off the media centre at that point. Gale force winds coming in, but I let the bet ride. I thought he'd be okay, and then he carded an 80. I had a good chat with Rory on the practice putting green the following day before his 3rd round. And he was explaining he found it so hard to maintain his balance on the greens. That was the problem. When he was putting, he was just wobbling around and couldn't control his ball on the greens in those Friday afternoon winds. I gave him a good pep talk. He shot 69. I said he was still in the golf tournament. Incredibly, he shot 80 on the Friday. He was still in it. He shot 69, 68 over the weekend and finished 3rd. So it just one bad round just ruined that 2010 coup. So I think it's revenge time. It's such a good course for McIlroy, St Andrews. We've seen that in the Dunhill Links Championship. 2 of the 4 rounds in the Dunhill Links are played at St Andrews. McIlroy finished 3rd in the Dunhill Links on his debut in 2007. He's finished 2nd in the Dunhill 3 times. And has he ever teed up at St Andrews with more confidence in every department of his game than he has now? I don't think so. He showed when winning the Canadian Open a month ago that his wedge play's improved a lot. His approach play in general this year has really come on. And he's 8th in the PGA Tour putting stats. There's an all-round solidity to McIlroy at the moment. His long game in the JP McManus Pro-Am last week was phenomenal. 2 eagles in the second round, an amazing display of controlled power. He's been playing links golf in Ireland in the build-up, skipped the Scottish Open. I think his preparation has been absolutely spot on. And as I say, that honours board at St Andrews is quite revealing. The cream rises to the top of this place. And I think we'll get a classy champion. I think it'll be the world number 2.
Brilliant. It's world number 2, is he, Rory?
Yeah. Which shows how consistently he dropped down.
That surprised me, that.
dropped down to 16th not that long ago, and he shows how consistent he's been since, performing in every major. He's producing the goods.
It's a shame you're not back up there this year, isn't it? Give him another pep talk.
Yeah, I'd like to give him a pep talk.
What would you say?
Well, I'd say when someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, what are you doing in these majors? You had the lead in that one. You blew it. You had the lead in that one. Oh, you shot an amazing final around that." You say, "Well, I'm playing good in the majors, isn't I? What would you rather me be doing? Floating around, irrelevantly in 40th place and getting no stick for it?" I mean, he's been putting himself in the mix in majors. He's had fast starts dropped away. He's had slow starts come with a late rattle. I think he goes to St Andrews this week, which is, of course, he knows he plays well. And I think that confidence of a 72-hole performance is there. I think he starts well, he finishes well.
I think that's the most stirring pep talk since Graham Taylor to Nigel Clough. Brilliant stuff. Right then, okay, so Rory McIlroy carries Steve's main hopes. If Rory isn't going to do it, who may well be the person?
I think the main threat to Rory is pal Jordan Spieth. 12-1 with Boyle Sports getting 11 places, 18-1 available elsewhere getting fewer places. I've got a 4-pronged attack this week. They're all major champions. 3 of them are former Open winners. McIlroy won the Open in 2014. Spieth won it in 2017. Spieth's Open record is superb. He was runner-up last year, and more importantly, he was 4th in the 2015 Open at St Andrews. He missed out on the playoff by just 1 shot. Relishes links golf. He's got that creativity, the silky touch around the greens. Warmed up well last week. 10th place in the Scottish Open. Yeah, that was his Renaissance Club debut. Decent effort. I think a firm and fast St Andrews is a dream ticket for Spieth.
Spieth.
Spieth, as I like to call him. I see Spieth and McIlroy going toe to toe.
All right. Who won in 2015? Was that Stenson's year?
2015 was a 3-man playoff. Zach Johnson.
Oh, Zach Johnson, of course it was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Excellent. And by the way, don't forget an early shout out for Sweet Spot Live on Sunday. Steve and I will be joined by various ne'er-do-wells and special guests. I think we're on air. What time have you got us on air from?
Can't describe Diane Knox-Ballas as a ne'er-do-well.
Oh, no, she's a special guest.
She's
Diane
a special
Knox-Ballas,
guest,
yeah.
2:30, I think. Should have gone to the dentist.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll be on air from 2:30 for the final round on Sunday. Love you to join us there. No adverts, no Rolex adverts, no adverts of any sort. Just us chatting about golf, bringing you up to date with all the latest betting and hopefully coming up with a few in-running tips as well. Okay, so we've got Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth. Who's the third tip?
Third man, another Open champion, Shane Lowry, 18-1 with Boyle Sports getting 11 places, 22-1 available elsewhere getting fewer places. Jack Nicklaus won his second Open title at St Andrews. Seve Balathirov won his second Open title at St Andrews. Nick Faldo won his second Open title at St Andrews. I suspect this week a top-class golfer will be winning their second Open title at St Andrews, and I think it'll be either McIlroy, Spieth, or Lowry. I've talked about Spieth's magic hands around the greens. Same comment applies for Lowry. I think these two will provide a clinic in scrambling this week. It's going to be really important around firm, fast greens. Lowry was... I haven't got a word to describe what Lowry produced at Royal Portrush. It was incredible. A 6-shot victory in front of, fervent galleries for your first major. It just showed what a links master he is to produce in those conditions. He won the Irish Open in 2009 on a links course when he was still an amateur. We know he can perform at St Andrews. He's finished in the top 6 in the Dunhill Links 3 times. And like McIlroy, has he ever had such all-round self-belief? There isn't any part of Lowry's game that's let him down this year. Been so consistent. He was 9th in the Irish Open the week before last. He was 3rd in the JP McManus Pro-Am. Wisely took a breather last week. I think Big Shano is a major player. Just can't have him out of the places.
And he'd relish the wind, wouldn't he?
Yeah. A little bit of breeze first 2 days. He'll be looking forward to that. You put Shane Lowry on a links golf course. He's got a big smile on his face. He knows he's the king of the links.
Blimey. Okay, right then. And finally, who else have we got?
Pick of the outsiders. Patrick Reed, 80-1 with Boyle Sports getting 11 places, 125-1 available elsewhere getting fewer places. My 4th major champion. I mentioned, the last 9 editions of St Andrews Opens, 8 of them have gone to major winners. Already got a major under their belt. He's a hero for us in that 2018 Masters. You mustn't forget that. That was a wonderful, wonderful week. That performance at Augusta, plus all his Ryder Cup heroics, Captain America, he's proven his bottle, isn't he? Patrick Reed has got bottle. I think he's up to winning this. All this live golf controversy, water off a duck's back. he's been a controversial figure his entire career. I mean, do you remember the moment he came out and said he was a top 5 player in the world when he was nowhere near? He's courted controversy from day one, and he's never let it affect his performance. I think he'll relish the atmosphere this week. I think he'll thrive as a live golf bad boy. And more importantly, he's got his form back just in time to be a serious contender, and it's almost certainly due to equipment changes. He signed for PXG at the start of the year. That partnership ended after less than 6 months.
PSG?
Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain.
Blimey. You're getting into that forward line.
PXG, Parsons Extreme Golf. But that partnership has ended after less than 6 months. He's decided he wants to be a free agent again. And that decision seems to coincide with joining Live Golf. He can certainly afford to be a free agent now. He's a Live Golf bad boy. And he's gone back to his old clubs. He'd been spraying it around with the PXG driver. He got his old tools back for his Live Golf debut in Portland, and straight away improved his straight away right back in the groove. Improved his score every round. Finished third in that Live Golf Portland. He's got the old grind work. He likes the grind work tools. So he's back in business. He's got his bag tuned in just in time for an event that you'd fancy him anyway. I mean, he finished 20th at St Andrews in 2015. That was just his second Open start. Then he was 12th in 2016, 10th in 2019. Little bit of breeze he'll love. He's a Texan who plays well in the breeze. Fantastic short game like Lowry and Spieth. I think he's been dismissed on form where he wasn't happy with his equipment. It's been a quiet year, but he's back now. Perfect moment for the old lady.
Okay, excellent, mate. Very strong case. Now then, in tomorrow's Racing Post, there's a special Open pullout in which Steve gives his thoughts on all the players. So fantastic effort there. Loads and loads of extra tips and specials and stats. Do not miss that. That's absolutely superb. So that's got all the details of all the fancied runners. Is there anyone at the head of the market that almost made their way onto the staking plan, or conversely, someone who you just can't have at the prices?
I had 8 players on my shortlist for quite a long time, and then whittled it down to the 4. I think Matt Fitzpatrick's very hard to get off your mind. His St Andrews record is not great, but he's a different player now, isn't he? His driving distance is remarkable. So I massively fear Fitzpatrick following up the US Open win with another one. Tyrrell Hatton almost completed 3 Dunhill Links Championship wins in a row. He's got a fantastic record in that tournament.
And he's a flat stick master, isn't he?
Flat stick master, yeah. Tyrrell Hatton's is hard to get away from. Tommy Fleetwood, a very similar case can be made for him. Fantastic record in the Dunhill Links, warmed up really well in the Scottish Open, pair of 67s at the weekend. Hatton and Fleetwood, I wouldn't put people off, but they're not major champions. It's a huge psychological hurdle to get over. And if they're going down the stretch with a chance to win their first major in the Open at St Andrews, it's the ultimate achievement. I just don't trust, particularly Fleetwood. I just don't trust Fleetwood to hold his nerve in that situation. Hatton, I'm not sure, combustible character. So that's why I ruled him out. I just wanted major champions.
Who else was on your short list?
Tony Finau. Tony Finau was the other one. Yeah. Right. Tony Finau, another man who's seeking to win his first major. He's got a sneaky good record in the Open, good record in majors generally, seems to like links golf. So, I wouldn't put people off Hatton, Fleetwood, Finau and Fitzpatrick, because there's so many places available. 11 places with Boyle Sports. You could have eight bets if you're chasing place money. How I like to operate. I like large bets on the main fancies. And, I think you need to be a member of the elite to win this, proven major champion.
There's a lot of people will look at the potential emphasis, like I say, for great wedge play and hitting really good approach shots. And they'll come to the conclusion that Justin Thomas is the king of that particular realm. I mean, what are your views on him this week? Yeah,
Justin Thomas, though, he's got a poor Open record. He's been talking a good game about how he's finally got a handle on links golf. Missed the cut by a million shots in the Scottish Open last week. I'm not convinced he has got a handle on it. I need more proof. There's a lot of Americans with hardly any experience of St Andrews. Your Scottish Schauffele, St Andrews debut. Xander Schauffele hadn't seen the course at all before this week. Justin Thomas has never played in a St Andrews Open. Colin Morikawa, St Andrews debut. This is why I feel McIlroy is such a great bet. Some people suggesting that 10-1, yes, it's not for them. But I mean, you look at the Americans below him, and he knows. McIlroy knows St Andrews like the back of his hand. He'll step on that first tee with so much confidence that this is terrain he has conquered before. Whereas a lot of the Americans are like, oh, what's down there? I haven't seen how. They're genuinely massively inexperienced. So there are not many Americans I can have, but Spieth obviously almost won it in 2015. I fancy him at St Andrews. If you talk about wedge play, Spieth's wedges are fantastic. Lowry's wedges are awesome. Reed's wedges are awesome. I think I've got plenty of wedges on my side if that's what you're worrying about.
Okay, mate. No, I'm not worrying. I'm not worried at all, mate. I'm looking forward to it. And if you do want that 10-1 Rory McIlroy, Boyle Sports do have an enhanced win-only market with Rory at 10s. Couple more players I wanted to talk about, Steve. Obviously, we can't let Tiger's emotional return to St Andrews pass without comment. 66-1 with Boyles to win, 4-9 to make the cut. Remind us what the rule is on the cut. Do we have 10-shot rules anymore or anything like that?
No 10-shot rules. No.
So 70, it's just top
70, I believe. Yeah,
top 70 times.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So can Tiger make the cut?
Great question. I think he's a shade of odds on with most firms. I think St Andrews now will get him through. As I mentioned, there's lots of top class Americans have never seen it before. St Andrews is a playground for Woods. 19 under par. He's one with a 19 under par total. I think he'll do just enough to get through. It's not a market I've got a lot of passion about getting involved in. But what I would say is he's got his usual. It's usually 11 a.m. on the Tuesday. He has his media conference in the Open. I think that'd be the case today. And look out, because I watched his media conferences at the JP McManus Pro-Am, and there was a lot of chat from Tiger about 1995 when he was making his Open debut, and Arnold Palmer was playing in his last Open, and he remembered watching Arnold Palmer waving on the Swilcan Bridge there and retiring, and Woods just seemed to be talking about it more than he needed to be. And I just wonder at 11 a.m. today whether he might just make the bombshell announcement that this is his last Open.
So we'll see him on the bridge on either Friday or Sunday.
I think he likes to keep his cards close to his chest. I don't think it's something he would have told everyone long way in advance. I have a small sort of sinking feeling, is why I have the shirt on here, that he might make that announcement, because he's not walking well. He was in the buggy a lot of the JP McManus Pro-Am. I think there might even be part of him accepting now that he ain't going to get the job done again.
What if he does it? What if he announces he's going to retire and makes the cut, and we're live on air on Sunday? What will you be like? Yeah.
I'll have to have a few handkerchiefs close to hand, wouldn't I? I'm already welling up at the thought now, actually.
Oh, blimey.
That combined with the temperature in the shed, there's all sorts of fluids.
Is it warm in the shed?
It's just starting to cook up a little bit. Yeah. I just get so heady in here. Don't worry, I won't be in the shed for Sunday's Sweet Spot Live. I'll be in there.
It's going to be hot again, isn't it? It's going to be warm. So it's going to be roasting.
Yeah, it's going to be the hottest one, I think, Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. We'll look forward to that. But we'll see about Tiger. We'll see about Tiger. I think he made the cut, but I think this might be his last Open.
One more player I wanted to ask you about, more for personal thoughts, because I thought I might have a little bet on him at a 3-figure price. He's Padraig Harrington.
Yeah.
Would you put me off?
No, I was toying with Padraig Harrington. I mean, he's playing some fantastic golf. He can still keep up with the young guns off the tee. Won the US Senior Open in fine style. Played well in the JP McManus Pro-Am. Ran out of steam in the Scottish Open, missed the cut. But that little breather will do him good the weekend off. Two-time Dynamics champion. I fancy Padraig Harrington. If we're going to seamlessly segue into the tops and specials, I have a Padraig Harrington.
Do that then.
Let's do that.
What have you got in the tops and specials, Steve? Anything to do with that, eh? Padraig Harrington, maybe?
We're like Lorraine Kelly and Piers Morgan, haven't we? We've really got a Padraig Harrington, top senior. I've seen 21 to 10. We might be getting a little bit bigger when all the bookies get their act together. As I say, won the US Senior Open, played well in the JP McManus Pro-Am. 2-time winner of the Daniel Links Championship. He knows St Andrews like the back of his hand. It's opposing Phil Mickelson in this market again. I don't see I think Phil Mickelson is done being a proper golfer. And there's not much else to beat. So Harrington.
Who else have you got? Paul Lowry maybe, or something like that?
Paul Lowry's in. Yeah. There's a load of people.
There's a few, isn't there? A few oldies.
There's a few oldies, but none of them have got any. Harrington's a serious title contender. He
won't be coming here just to mess around, will he?
No. He's been talking a really good game. He says this will be the icing on the cake of his career if he wins at St Andrews. He considers himself a serious customer.
I think it'd be the main cake, not just the icing.
Yeah, I do.
It'd be incredible, wouldn't it?
Yeah. He's a runner. I mean,
good.
Yeah.
Thank you for endorsing that. What else have you got on the specials front?
I have Sam Bairstow for top amateur. Sam Bairstow has played in the St Andrews Links Trophy 3 times, and he's never carded an over par score in any round. So, I think Sam Bairstow can get the better of Kaito Nakajima and win top amateur. 16-5 is the best I've seen so far. And then at bigger prices, Thomas Pieters. We can't go a podcast without mentioning Thomas Pieters. I think he's a live wire in top continental. I think he'll play quite well. I don't think he'll have to do much to win that. So 10-1 Thomas Pieters, top continental, opposing John Rahm in that. Who's we've been questioning John Rahm's mental state for a while, and with that Sunday 74 in the US Open was horrific. Missed the cut in his only Dunhill Links. John Rahm never played St Andrews in an Open. And then if you want a dual forecast, I know you don't like it when I tip dual forecasts, but I think if you're feeling optimistic, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, it doesn't take a Mystic Meg to see that one happening, does it?
I suppose not. No. Brilliant. Okay, Steve.
100 to 1. 100 to 1. That is 100 to 1 natural. 100 to 1 dual.
Wow, it's worth a quid, isn't it? Wow, excellent stuff. What's your drink of choice there today, Steve?
That is that's the Barracuda one, isn't it? The Barracuda one. You need a lot of fluid when you're in a work shed all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Right then, we'll very quickly visit the Barracuda Championship, which starts sort of Thursday lunchtime, I think, somewhere in America. I don't know where. Steve will tell us. First, though, here are Boyle Sports prices. 12-1 favourite is Maverick McNeely, and then it's 18-1 Cam Davis and Alex Noren. 22 Nick Hardy, so you get the clue about the quality. 25 Mark Hubbard and Taylor Pendrith and Doug Gim. 28-1 Rasmus Højgaard. 33 Bar. What's the course? What's the crack? How many selections?
He sounds so enthusiastic.
He says enthusiastically.
Come on, we need to have an each way double as well.
I just think who cares?
Yeah, I know.
Who cares?
I know, fair comment, but Barracuda Championship, Old Greenwood, Tahoe Mountain Golf Club, Truckee, California. Come on,
that sounds nice. To be fair,
yeah, we're off to Truckee. 7,480 yards, par 71, 3 par 5, and surely the modified Stableford scoring system gets you going.
Is it? Oh no!
Here we go. Come on, Albatross 8 points, Eagle 5, Birdie 2, par 0, Bogey -1, double bogey or worse -3. Doesn't get more exciting than that. We got a Jack Nicklaus design that's hosted for the last 2 years. Large, fast, severely undulating greens. 3 drivable par 4s. Come on. We've got loads of drivable par 4s this week. We've got loads at St Andrews. We've got loads at Tahoe Mountain.
I'm giving it the big one now, but I bet at 2 a.m. on Sunday I'll be cheering on some bloke I've never heard of probably. But we'll see. How many selections we got?
I remember when I had... who was it? Patrick Rogers, I think I had in this tournament many moons ago. I was lying in bed it was really late, just lying in bed. It wasn't on the telly and just checking Patrick Rogers, and he narrowly missed out on victory. We got 3 selections.
Okay, go on then. I don't want chapter and verse, just a couple of good reasons for each. Come on, who we got?
Fair enough. Matthias Schwab, 40-1. Regular contender on the DP World Tour for a bit. Playoff loser in the 2019 Turkish Airlines Open. He's made his name in stateside college golf. He's a PGA Tour rookie this year, and the rookie campaign's going well. 7th in the Honda Classic, 7th in the Puerto Rico Open, 8th in the Texas Open, 16th last time out in the John Deere Classic. Well suited to this course, and he proved it on his only previous appearance. He finished 3rd 2 years ago.
Lovely, that'll do. Matthias Schwab headline selection. Main danger?
Cam Davis, 18-1. Class act. His swing is technical perfection. He won his maiden PGA Tour title almost exactly a year ago. 3rd in the Heritage in April, 7th in the Charles Schwab in May. 8th in the John Deere Classic last time out, 32nd in only previous start of the course. Massive runner in a weak grade.
Okay.
He's better than this.
All right. And bronze?
Brandon Haggy, 100-1 chance. Massive hitter. He can make mincemeat of those 3 drivable par 4s. He was 12th in 2020, his best finish of the year. He was 5th last year, his best finish of 2021. So this is his big chance. He knows it. He was 27th last week in the Barbasol. He's a Californian. Could go well in his home state, a massive prize.
Marvellous. Thank you, mate. Let's reiterate this week's tips. The Open at St Andrews. Steve's got 4 selections, and they are...
The 150th Open Championship at the Old Lady. Let's give it its full title. Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Shane Lowry, Patrick Reed.
And the Barracuda Championship?
Matthias Schwab, Cam Davis, Brandon Haggy.
Marvellous. Okay, mate. Thank you very much indeed for that, Steve. So I presume you're just going to hunker down for 4 days of thrilling action. It's brilliant. What I love about the Open is it's just wall to wall, isn't it? They start, crack of dawn, don't they? And they finish, obviously there's no 2T starts. They finish ridiculously late. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
That's it. You got 6:30 a.m. Sky Sports coverage, haven't you? So you just wake up on Thursday and it's already on.
Yeah.
I'm going to excite my family with that on Thursday.
Do you have to get special? Do you have to sort of warn Nicola that this is one of those weeks, or?
Oh, she knows this is one of those weeks. Yeah. She can sense the tension in the build-up.
Well, hopefully it won't be tense. It'll just be enjoyable. It's there to be enjoyed, isn't it? So
it's an opportunity. Let's go take the opportunity.
And there's no danger of weather delays, is there? Because one thing that does my head in about the Open is when we get weather delays. It should be absolutely fine.
No. The winds are not going to be strong enough to delay anything. There's not going to be a drop of rain. No, we're set fair here. Yeah, I think this is going to be a modern classic. I think you're going to have some, if you have McIlroy and Spieth, Lowry going at it on the back nine Sunday and blazing sunshine and, massive crowds, we'll all forget about COVID-19 ever existed. I think this could be a spectacular Open Championship, and I hope it gets the champion it deserves.
Excellent. I hope it does too, Steve. Good luck with your tips. And thank you very much for watching the Sweet Spot. Like I say, we would love you to join us on Sunday from 2:30 for a Sweet Spot Live covering the final round of the Open. And if you can't make that, do join us next Tuesday for another Sweet Spot. Bet responsibly, have fun, and good luck.